Hi, welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm your host, Steven, and today I'll be talking a little bit more about the Fast and the Furious. I heard some more news. As we all know, this series is coming to the end of the road. They're putting the brakes on it. Whatever you want to say to this thing, you can go a million ways. There's a million little lines we can pull on this. The series is running out of gas. It's found that fork in the road. Whatever you want to say, Fast and the Furious is coming to an end. Now, supposedly, this was supposed to be a two-parter. But as Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez were at a red carpet event, they were asked about this series and how it's going to end. And Diesel kind of goes and says something like this: without giving away too much, I can say this. Going into making this movie, the studio had asked if this could be a two parter. And after the studio saw this part one, they said, could you make Fast X, the finale, a trilogy? Rodriguez kind of steps in and goes, it's three acts to a story. And Diesel goes, you're probably getting a trilogy. So now, are we getting a trilogy? Maybe. If we look at the numbers, it makes sense to keep this saga going. The series starts off in 2001 with a $206 million box office intake. Too Fast, Too Furious gets to 236. It does dip for Tokyo Drift at 157 million, but comes back up with Fast and Furious at 359. Fast 5. Now, some people say Dwayne The Rock Johnson, when he came into this movie, he's known as the franchise Viagra. So Fast 5 jumps from 359 to 629 at the box office. Fast and Furious 6 makes 789 million. The Fate of the Furious makes 1.2 billion. Furious 7 makes 1.5 billion. Hobbs and Shaw, the spin-off, makes 760 million. And that's just a spin-off. And 720 million for the Fast Saga, which was part 9, which a lot of people did not like, and it still made $720 million. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this franchise, but the numbers speak for themselves. And we all know that franchises are king in Hollywood, so with this kind of money coming in, I don't blame them for asking it to make it into a trilogy and milk it as much as they can, like till the gas tank is empty and those last little drops are still they're gonna make another one, right? Some people say there's no gas left in the tank in this series. They've made 10 so far. I don't know, where you can go with it anymore, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. Now, like I said, financial standpoint, it's good. Some people say that this franchise is done with. Like, it's supposed to be about family, but we know there's like 30 seconds in the beginning we're at a dinner table and 30 seconds at the end, and the rest of the time the cars are jumping off buildings, blowing up, and so it's not really the family thing that they crack up to be. Let's be realistic. It's an adventure movie, and that's it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's a unbelievable adventure movie because I think these cars should have been destroyed. What they can do, these cars are indestructible, and these guys are indestructible. But hey, that's me. Some people love this series, and all the power to you. I love James Bond, and people say it's the same formula over. And you know what? But we all like what we like, right? So with these numbers, it makes sense. Now, with the latest one being the budget has skyrocketed because most of the movies were around $200 million in budget. Now this one, Fast X, is 340 million. So they got to make their numbers, and I think bringing The Rock in at the last minute because they saw the pre-sales were soft, they're kind of worried. Now they're kind of saying, let's make a trilogy, like let's go out with a bang. They're trying to do anything to make this work. Now, if they already had made the trilogy, well, the trilogy, excuse me, the ending a two-parter, I'm hoping they had some sort of ending in mind. So now, how do you make it a trilogy? I'm not sure how that works out. I'm not sure. Now, if the film makes over 725, I would say 730 million, 740, it's going to be a trilogy. Guaranteed there will be a trilogy on this. If it goes 700 and less, they will release part 2 and say, bon voyage, and we can't get our kicks off Route 66 anymore. So, but that's my take on it. I think it's got to make at least a minimum 740 million for them to consider it a trilogy. Will it make it? Yeah, I mean, if the last one was not liked too much and it made 720, I don't see 740 being a stretch if it's like a little bit better than that. Will The Rock bring that much more money? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think he might get some curiosity. Will it make like, double the money for them? I don't know about that, but hey, financially makes sense. Creatively, I don't know if this franchise is vibrant anymore. Where can you go with this? Send them off in space? I don't know. Where else can you go? Submarine cars? I don't know. I don't know where they can go with it. And but like I said, financially speaking, it makes sense to do this. And look, they did it with The Hobbit. The Hobbit is the smallest book, and it became a trilogy. But the Lord of the Rings had humongous books, and each one was one movie. But the smallest book in the Tolkien world is a trilogy. So they can do whatever they want. The money will be, if they can see the money coming in, they will do it. So this is no exception. Now, what are your thoughts on this? I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? Would you prefer this being a trilogy again, or do you want this to wrap up? Has this series ran out of gas? Should they slam the brakes? Is there no more, what else can they do? I'd love to hear from you. Let me know because I didn't mind Hobbs and Shaw. I just wasn't like, oh my, that it made 760 million. I didn't see that. There's better movies. I don't know. I don't think this is the greatest franchise in the world, in my opinion. But again, to each his own. Like I said, I love James Bond, and I know James Bond is formula. So I mean, I'm in no way criticizing the fan base of the Fast and Furious. I do the same. I have my franchise. You have yours. Let's enjoy them. But if anybody's been there since the beginning, what do you think? Has this detoured? Has it derailed? Do you think the creative well has run dry now, and they're just really going on empty here? Love to hear from you. Do you think this is going to be a trilogy now? Let me know. Share your thoughts with us. Hit that like button and subscribe. This is Steven from the Roundtable, wishing everyone the very best.